What if this moment, this fragile sliver of time between seasons, is more than just a pause of quiet before the storm that will define the next era? For the Los Angeles Lakers, what if the difference between a championship dynasty and another crushing heartbreak comes down not to the players we all expect, but to a shadowy figure few in the media dare to whisper about? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Now buckle up, because what I'm about to lay out could very well be the most electrifying twist in the Lakers' offseason story. Yet a moment that feels as close to destiny as any of us have dared hope for. Since the last parade ended with confetti and bittersweet silence, we've all watched the saga unfold, the roster shuffling, the cap juggling, the whispers of desperation masked as strategic patience. But tucked away in the shadows of the Sacramento Kings' chaos is a player one who could return to Los Angeles, not as a forgotten relic, but as the missing piece that finally completes this championship puzzle. Recent reports from Matt George, the Kings insider with ABC 10, have sent tremors through the grapevine. Sacramento is desperate to bring Russell Westbrook back into their fold, a move that's been quietly brewing since free agency, but the crux, their guard rotation, is jam-packed and financial flexibility is practically non-existent. They need to shed talent someone solid, someone valuable before Westbrook steps foot on their court again. Enter Malik Monk, a name that sounded increasingly like a ghost from the Lakers' past, but who, by all accounts, is playing at a career high level for Sacramento. Look, this might feel like a side story, maybe even a distraction, but that's exactly why it matters for us. This isn't about Westbrook returning to the Lakers. That ship, trust me, has sailed and sunk in our collective memory. No, it's about what happens when states ripple with a trade no one saw coming. When the Kings move a player like Malik Monk, suddenly the Lakers find themselves staring at an opportunity they can't afford to ignore. Consider the Kings' backcourt now, a jumble of star shooters, ball handlers, and rising contracts. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dennis Schroeder, Keegan Ellis all vying for minutes. And with Keegan Murray's looming extension to be negotiated, the math gets brutal. Malik Monk, athletic, 27 years old, in his prime, averaging 17 points and nearly 6 assists while proving last year that he can thrive as a lead scorer and facilitator, fits perfectly into this overflow. And here's the kicker: Monk's skill set addresses a glaring hole in the Lakers lineup. A second unit that's vulnerable, limping through playoff losses and desperate for a spark. Remember the scrappy, underwhelming rotation in that brutal series against the Timberwolves, a unit with barely 5 reliable players, lacking a consistent offensive weapon, a microwave scorer who can ignite the bench and shift momentum in a heartbeat. We brought in Marcus Smart, Adrien Bembry, Jake LaRavia, hoped Dalton Connect and Jackson Hayes could evolve, but it's been a patchwork, a holding pattern. Enter Monk, a player who's shown he can not only play with ball-dominant stars like Fox and previously LeBron, but can thrive off the ball and create his own shot. He's that rare breed of scorer who's not intimidated by big moments, a microwave scorer who can orchestrate and finish, a potential cannon of offense for this Lakers bench that desperately needs one. And the financials, here's where the front office chess moves get real. Malik Monk is currently under a contract paying him around $18 million this year, then $20 million with a player option after. That might seem like a luxury for the Lakers' long-term cap ambitions, but remember, Monk could opt out and seek a fresh deal, maybe cashing in while the timing is right. The Lakers, holding to expiring contracts between Max Christie and Gabe Vincent, have the pieces to maneuver. They could even throw in Ryan Hachimura or a second-round pick to tilt the scales in Sacramento's favor. The Kings' known dysfunction of franchise operating with less cohesion that we dare admit here in Los Angeles suggests they might make a hasty decision. A trade that could hand us Monk on a platter, perhaps even as part of their grand Westbrook plan. And there's an emotional irony here if you think about it. Wouldn't it be poetic, almost Shakespearean, for Lakers fans to soften their stance on Westbrook, not because he's reclaiming purple and gold, but because his arrival elsewhere clears the way to bring back Monk, who shared a locker room and some gritty battles with Russ during their first stint here. It's a plot twist too tantalizing to ignore. Now, the question begs, what does this mean for us? For LeBron and Anthony Davis, for the blossoming stars like Austin Reeves, for the small but potent cogs who make up this Lakers engine? Monk could be the ignition switch for an offense that needs to be unpredictable, adaptable, firepower sprinkled across more than just the starting five, beyond just the numbers, beyond the contracts and cap space. This could be the moment where the Lakers pivot from hopeful contenders to a team with a real, palpable shot at glory. But as a lifelong Lakers fan, somebody who has bled purple and gold through crushing losses and euphoric victories alike, I can't help but feel the weight of history pressing on this moment. We've been here before on the razor's edge, between success and heartbreak, where one move can elevate us or unravel everything we've built. So the question isn't just whether Malik Monk is the final piece. It's whether the Lakers front office can seize this rare window before it closes forever. Will this be the spark that launches a new dynasty or another tantalizing what-if, lost to the chaos of NBA politics and fractured alliances? So is this the start of a new empire or the beginning of our unraveling? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Listen up, Lakers Nation, because if you think this moment is just another off-season blip, you are sold out to complacency, and there is no room for that here. Not in this city, not in this franchise. The stakes are flamethrower level hot right now, and every tick of the clock echoes with the possibility that we're either on the verge of a golden renaissance or barreling straight into another labyrinth of what-ifs that has haunted this team since the days when Magic ran the floor with the kind of grace and swagger that made the world stop and stare. What we're witnessing isn't just a roster tweak or a financial maneuver. It's a crossroads in the very soul of the Lakers' harbinger or heartbreak, savior or squandered chance, all tethered to a name that until now was whispered like a ghost story. Malik Monk. Picture this: LeBron James, the immortal king of the hardwood, staring down a twilight that feels shorter by the day, burdened not just by his own staggering legacy, but by the looming shadow of will this be the season where it all slips away? You think about how LeBron poured his essence into this purple and gold jersey, sacrificing parts of his body, his prime, his peace to chase the 18th banner for a city that demands excellence like a birthright. But here's the truth: nobody wants to say out loud. Without a reliable backup scorer, without a second unit dynamo who can detonate offensively, without begging to be fed, all the Kings' efforts risk becoming little more than fireworks, beautiful but fleeting. And Anthony Davis, oh man, what a burden the brow carries every night, busting his body, wrestling injuries like demons, all while praying for the help that never quite arrived in time. Imagine how Monk's speed and shot creation could lift some weight off AD's shoulders. How his confident scorer's mentality could keep defenses honest when the starting five hits a wall. Now, throw Austin Reeves into the equation. This kid is already a spark plug, a rising star eager to taste leadership. But the question remains, can Reeves ascend? Or will he suffocate in a system lacking breathing room and genuine offensive depth? Monk could be the bridge the Lakers need, connecting raw potential to trident true scoring punch. But none of this unfolds in a vacuum. Oh no, the front office chessboard is more fraught than ever. Jeanie Buss sits at the apex, a figure both revered and vilified, trying to hold onto the wheel of a speeding ship tossed by turbulent seas. But whispers are swirling louder. What if a deep-pocketed billionaire saunters into the picture, ready to disrupt the delicate, decades-old power structure? The Lakers have long been a family business, steeped in legacy, but in today's frenzy of billionaires and super agents, what if this new player brings not just cash, but a complete reimagination of how this team operates? Could Jeanie and her trusted inner circle hold the fort? Or will the lion's share of control shake loose, morphing into a new reality where loyalty battles with cash flow, history wrestles with ambition? And while we're staring down that internal burning question, look west. Look out across the glittering battlefield of the Western Conference. The Warriors are still circling like hungry sharks, Golden State's legacy grinding through its recalibration phase, with Steph Curry still a lethal beast and fresh young pieces, trying to fill the vast hole left by Clay and Draymond's decline. But this is key: if the Lakers make this Monk trade, if this man returns and finds fit with LeBron and AD, could this be the gasoline that not only lights up their own offense, but disrupts the Warriors' rhythm, cracking open what many thought was an ironclad stranglehold on Western supremacy? Now, watch as Denver sharpens its claws, the Nuggets eyeing vulnerabilities. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are ready to pounce on any sign of Lakers instability. The Suns and Clippers, simmering with potential chaos of their own, can swoop in like opportunistic vultures if the purple and gold stumble in the turbulence of roster flux. The West might have been a revolving door of uncertainty for years, but this move, if it happens, could be the statement of intent, the seismic shockwave that redefines who owns Los Angeles basketball's future. But what if the gamble fails? What if Monk's return reignites old chemistry issues, clashes in style, or the choking pressure of expectations? The Lakers' history is littered with near misses and moments where the universe seemed to conspire against the purple and gold. Remember the 1991 heartbreak when the Bulls showed the Lakers they were the next era's rulers, crushing the Showtime dream? Or flash forward to the 2004 tumult with Kobe and Shaq's explosive split that fractured the franchise's heart, then a glorious revenge arc in 2009 and 2010, where the Lakers roared back to reclaim dominance, their banners raised with sweat and tears. And who could forget the 2020 bubble triumph, a beacon of hope and resilience in the darkest of times? But following that, the slow, painful unraveling, a roster stretched thin, injuries piling, internal discord simmering beneath the neon lights of Hollywood's stage. What if this Monk move is yet another repeating verse in a long song of almosts, stirring hope only to end in heartbreak? Can the Lakers break free from this cyclical purgatory, or are we destined to watch hope flicker and die one more time? I see the outlines, the pitchforks of media doubt, the ghostly echoes of past mistakes. They're all here, almost tangible, hovering over every decision in the front office war room. Does Rob Pelinka have the mojo left to thread this needle? Will new voices rise up behind the scenes, ready to challenge the status quo? The atmosphere crackles with tension, like the charge there moments before a thunderstorm erupts over downtown LA. And what about the fans, us, the lifeblood of this franchise, bleeding purple and gold through every heartbreak and victory? Are we ready to embrace Monk as one of our own, to throw our full weight behind a player who once symbolized unfinished business? Or will we be caught again in the throes of cynicism, to haunted by past failures to truly believe? Now imagine the arena, packed to the rafters, roaring as Monk dribbles up court, the crowd's breath held tight in anticipation as LeBron surveys the floor, eyes locking with Monk's, plotting, scheming, about to unleash a new chapter in Lakers history. This is more than just basketball. It's identity, legacy, hope, and desperation, all tangled into a tangled knot of emotion. The Lakers aren't just a team, they're a living, breathing saga, a curtain rising on a drama that might define the next decade. And yet, the question still reverberates: will Malik Monk be the ignition spark for a dynasty reborn, or just another fleeting mirage fading in the relentless LA sun? As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. We stand on a razor's edge, staring into a chasm where the ghosts of legends and the shadows of failures mingle. But beyond that abyss lies a sliver of pure, unfiltered possibility, raw, wild, and screaming to be seized. Now I want to hear it from you. Drop your raw's take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, are we about to witness the dawn of a new dynasty? Or is this the calm before the storm that will tear our hearts out once again?